Today, I'm going to talk about the Colorado nightclub shooting, the controversy surrounding the Qatar World Cup, allegations of Ukrainian war crimes, and also the massive snowstorm hitting western New York. I'm Michele Carroll. Welcome to the News Diet, where I give you to-the-point news Monday through Thursday. A Colorado shooting late Saturday night saw the death of 5 people with 25 others injured. The shooting took place at the gay nightclub Club Q in Colorado Springs, where a 22-year-old gunman opened fire close to midnight. Shortly after, 2 patrons were able to subdue the man, who was then arrested by police who arrived within minutes. 2 firearms were found on the scene, and the gunman is believed to have used a rifle in the shooting. Investigators are still determining a motive and to see if the attack should or shouldn't be prosecuted as a hate crime. Regardless, the suspect is likely to be charged with first-degree murder. When it comes to mass shootings, I refrain from sharing the shooters' names, as one theory as to the rise in mass shootings is a desire to achieve infamy among the public. So, without saying his name, I will say that authorities are investigating a previous arrest of someone with the same name and age from back in 2021 for threatening his mother with a homemade bomb, multiple weapons, and ammunition. It's yet to be confirmed that this is the same man, but a spokesman for the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office did say that it was part of the investigation. The man is currently in custody and receiving treatment for injuries. Before moving on to the next story, I just want to ask if you can hit that subscribe button so you can continue to get notifications on new episodes and follow along as the News Diet grows. Yesterday marked the beginning of FIFA World Cup 2022, the global soccer tournament that's also the most widely viewed sporting event in the world. After a 3-year qualification phase, the remaining teams compete in this tournament that lasts about a month. So this year, the games will continue until December 18th. The games have just started, but already this tournament has garnered a lot of attention from issues unrelated to soccer. They mainly revolve around the fact that this year's games are hosted by Qatar, which makes it the first World Cup to be held in the Arab world. The decision to host the games here has proven to be controversial, with critics pointing to allegations of the country's human rights abuses, persecutions of the LGBTQ community, and also mistreatment of its migrant workers, which makes up the vast majority of those who constructed the tournament's infrastructure, which includes 7 new stadiums and the refurbishment of another. Reports are saying that workers are being denied pay and also access to their passports, as well as unsafe and unsanitary working conditions. And then there was the last-minute decision on Friday to ban the sale of beer at the tournament's 8 stadiums. Qatar is a dry country, meaning that alcohol is widely restricted, with exceptions only made in a handful of licensed hotel bars. But Qatar had made an agreement with FIFA to loosen the laws for the games. So the fact that they then rescinded that agreement just 2 days before the start of the tournament left many fans who had already traveled and arrived in the country to voice their frustration, especially considering the fact that alcohol will still be allowed for those holding a corporate hospitality ticket, which costs over $22,000. The FIFA president responded to the criticism in an hour-long speech on Saturday by defending Qatar and actually calling the blowback as hypocrisy. Gianni Infantino, who's of Swiss and Italian descent, specifically targeted Western critics, saying, quote, "I think for what we Europeans have been doing around the world for the last 3,000 years, we should be apologizing for the next 3,000 years before starting to give moral lessons." He also said, quote, "Today I feel Qatari. Today I feel Arab. Today I feel African. Today I feel gay. Today I feel disabled. Today I feel a migrant worker," and so on. So, some are questioning how much control FIFA still has over the tournament based on these bizarre developments that don't even have to do with the sport. But now that the event is fully underway, we'll see if that changes as the 32 teams compete for the World Cup trophy. There's a video going around showing a situation between Ukrainian soldiers and Russian soldiers that Russia claims as proof that Ukraine has engaged in war crimes as the fighting continues now for almost 9 months. It's a series of short, edited videos filmed by a Ukrainian soldier, shot on a camera phone, so the blurry and shaky quality of the recordings make it difficult to decipher what exactly unfolded. But what it does show is what appears to be Ukrainian soldiers drawing out surrendering Russian soldiers from a damaged building. The men are coming out unarmed with their arms raised, and they're being instructed to lay down next to what appears to be other bodies on the floor. But then suddenly, another man exits the building, firing at the supposed Ukrainian soldiers, and the video ends. But there's aerial footage showing all the Russian bodies left where they were in the video, but this time, all of them killed, including the one who opened fire. This situation is being used by Russia to call for an international investigation. They claim that the death of the surrendered soldiers could be a war crime. And according to the international treaty, the Rome Statute, killing or wounding a combatant who, having laid down his arms or having no longer means of defense, has surrendered at discretion, would be a violation. Now, Ukraine isn't actually party to this treaty, but they have accepted the court's jurisdiction in the past, and also in their bid to join NATO and the EU, they're probably not looking to ignore the opinion of this authority. So it sounds like what matters is if the surrendered soldiers were killed due to the fighting starting from the other man who opened fire, or were killed afterwards as revenge. Ukraine has said that they will investigate the video, although calling it, quote, very unlikely that it is, as Moscow says. Ukraine's deputy prime minister said that Ukraine is, quote, absolutely not interested in the execution of anybody, and also, quote, every potential executed Russian soldier is some Ukrainian that is not able to be exchanged, so the spirit and logic is not there. Accusations of war crimes have been waged on both sides throughout this conflict, as both hope to capture sympathy and support in what's a very messy and opaque war. Western New York State experienced a massive snowstorm over the weekend, creating conditions not seen in more than 20 years. Some regions saw more than 6 feet of snow, one of them being Orchard Park, where the NFL's Buffalo Bills play. Some areas even reached a snowfall rate of 3 inches an hour, according to the Buffalo Weather Service. These conditions forced authorities to enact a travel ban for the entire city, causing the cancellations of dozens of flights to and from Buffalo Niagara International Airport. The travel bans also applied to drivers as well, who were told to stay off the roads. In fact, the Erie County executive said, quote, a reminder to all employers, if your business is located in a driving ban area or your employees are currently in a driving ban area, it is illegal to make them come into work. Already more than 300 citations have been issued to drivers who violated the ban, saying that it potentially stalls emergency response vehicles as well as cleanup crews. Apparently, some vehicle owners have been abandoning their cars once they become stuck in the snow. Local and state officials have issued states of emergencies to receive more help, and New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced plans to double the number of National Guard members in Erie County to help with snow removal and to check on residents. Also, she signed a request for a federal reimbursement through a federal emergency disaster declaration. As for the Buffalo Bills football team, well, their game yesterday was moved from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, which was hit the hardest, to Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. According to ESPN, this was the first time an NFL game had to be relocated due to snowfall since 2014. You've just been informed, so now it's time to get on with your day. I'm Michele Carroll. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and want to continue following a healthier alternative for staying informed, where I forgo partisan fighting and fear-driven narratives and just get to the point, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as of course you'll get more of this show in your feed, and also you'll be helping this new channel grow and reject sensational media. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.